A lot of people feel the same. Fiona says, I'm sorry, I think it should be a great honour to play for your country. It annoys me when players pick and choose when they want to be selected for the national team. Julian, the arrogance. I remember when countries retired players, not the other way round. Thoughts?
Well, I retired from playing for Ireland while I was still playing.
Arrogance.
Yeah. No, but I think for me, certainly, it just became a time where I'd been injured for a while, and I physically couldn't do it. It physically hurt me to travel all the time, to try and keep fit, to play extra games. It was tough. Whether the guys are at that stage of their career where they're thinking, we want to be part of what's happening with England, because it looks like it's a good place to be at the moment, but it's physically draining, travelling around all the time. When you have that chance of a little break, just to have those 5 or 6 days where you can sort of rebuild yourself for the next Premier League weekend, I can understand the decision why they took it.
You've got to respect the players, I think. I think that, listen, just because they're retiring from national football doesn't mean they're any less patriotic. These boys love playing for England. You can tell when they speak about it. I've been in squads with Gary Cahill. He's a patriotic man. He wants to play for his country. But, like Danny said, you get to a certain age, it takes its toll on your body, travelling all these games, putting your body through it. And then you have to think about yourself at some times and say, listen, I need to make sure I start recouping some energy. You have to have the recovery. You need them 4 or 5 days when the team go away, the England team goes away. You get a chance to relax at your club. And that's just the way it is. And I think Vardy, he's going away every single time knowing I'm going to be on the bench. Because unfortunately, he's in a time where Harry Kane is going to be here playing. And he's sitting there thinking, well, I understand that. There's young players coming through as well. I need to I'm getting to the latter part of my career. I want to make sure I preserve myself so I can go on for longer.
But you know where I come from here as a football fan? Sitting on the bench for my country is an honour, let alone putting on the shirt and playing up front. But you guys obviously see it differently.
I feel a little bit different for both players, to be honest with you. I mean, when I look at Gary Cahill, I think there's no issue there. He's got 60 odd caps. He's been doing it for so long, and he is. Even within his own career, he's not playing at Chelsea. Maybe he feels it's actually hampered his career, if anything. Continually going away. With Jamie, I do look at him and think you've still got a lot to offer. And when it comes to what we have to replace, I suppose his type. He is one of a kind, I think, with what we've got. The player that just likes to run in channels and make life difficult. Rashford don't really do that. Rashford's more skills, and he can do it, but it's not his speciality. So I think I sit, I suppose, a little bit different on both. But I fully understand why they've done it, and I think from Gary's point of view, especially, I think it's unbelievable that he's even said, "I'll leave the door open to if you definitely need me, if there's a crisis, I'm still available." Certain players just go, look, no, but I don't mean. Look at James Milner, for example. He's still out there doing the business for Liverpool, but he retired. But look, when I say look at what he's doing,
it's helped him at club.
That's probably what.
So what is it?
That's a great example, and I think you have to respect his reasons. He's not gone into like deep reasons and give you the intricacies of it all. But he said, I need to spend more time with my family. So you have to respect that. Each person's family means different to every person. If he wants to have more time with his family, that's down to him. You have to respect that. He's played for his country, scored goals, been proud. There'd be no prouder man when he goes out there, he would say. But it's time for him to retire. You've got to accept that, man.
What is it like going to these tournaments and not playing? It would have happened to you in 2002, you in 2006. I mean, you all three sit here and go, travelling, not been... Is it that hard? Staying in a nice hotel, being looked after by the manager.
It don't matter where you are. People think that's the obvious, isn't it? You're getting paid so money. You're in a lovely hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Here and there.
You're getting no sympathy from this end.
That's no substitute for not playing.
Yeah,
it isn't. You all still want to get out there and be the main man on that pitch. So don't matter where you put me.
In '98, weren't you learning and listening and seeing what was going on?
But that's a different time. Like, I was a kid. I was 18 years old, whatever I was. Me and Michael were sitting there going, "We can't even believe we're here." Like, so I'm sitting there watching like Paul Ince get his recovery session done. How's he do it? Being a sponge, getting all the information and thinking for the future. But when you're 26 in the prime of your life, 28, 30, sitting there going, "I know I'm not going to play," that's a different feeling because you think I should be playing now. I'm ready. Do you know what I mean?
That was, for me, it's similar. I was a young age, I was 21, 22 or something when I went to the World Cup, and I'd played 12 of the 14 qualifiers to get there. And when I got there, the players who had been playing instead of were injured in the qualifiers, got fit again, and they took their places back, the more experienced centre-halves. And at the time when you're there, I enjoyed the World Cup, I enjoyed the whole experience, we played well, I learned a lot, I've seen a lot of different things, what goes on at World Cups. then when I retired and I look back and that opportunity never came back around again for me, that's when it's difficult. But at the time when it was going on,
Did you regret
it
it?
was fine. I can't regret it because it wasn't my choice. I wasn't picked. You know, I was there. I was ready to play. I just wasn't picked. So it's not a regret. It's just something I wish I had done. I don't know if that is a regret, but
Yeah, I think
yes,
that's a regret.
Yeah.
What about you, JJ?
I mean, I think I was about 22 when I went to 22, 23 when I went to the World Cup in Germany, and it was a different type of scenario. I missed the last chunk of the season at Spurs. I had a really good season, and I missed the last chunk of it, and it had an impact on me. A lot of my game was physical, getting by players, scoring goals. And even remember the pre-warm-up game I scored in that game. And I remember thinking, right, I feel good now, I'm up for it. So I was just constantly battling your own demons as to why I can't get that chance just to go and prove I can go and do it. So it doesn't matter where you stay, Jake, or who's looking after you, or how much gold is on your plate. If you're not playing football, you're not happy. It's the bottom line of it.
I remember that Schloss Hotel in Germany. That was a good place to stay. I was down the road in a bed sit for 6 weeks, so
Yeah, of course you was.
working on sports
That's
round.
the truth.
Kids telly, they looked after you on Kids telly. Greg says England are at the start of a 4-year cycle now, and the end game is all about 2022 and a World Cup. Are you seriously criticising a man who barely got a chance for England for stepping back? He'll be 35 by Qatar. He's letting the youth through. I mean, there's no criticism, just asking the question. Chaz, surely the international calendar has to change, and the structure too. It's different now, fitness, money, demands, etc. And Pete says the England team never passed to Vardy anyway and don't play to his strengths. So what's the point? Pete might be a Leicester fan, or Pete might be Jamie Vardy.